Have you ever purchased a vehicle only to discover the title is missing? Maybe the seller couldn't find it. Maybe it was never properly transferred. Or maybe you've inherited a vehicle and don't have the paperwork needed to prove ownership. The good news is that in many states, a title bond can help solve the problem. In this video, we'll explain what a bonded title is, when you might need one, and how the title bond process works. What is a bonded title? A bonded title is a vehicle title that's backed by a surety bond. States use bonded titles when someone claims ownership of a vehicle but doesn't have the documents normally required to obtain a standard title. The surety bond provides financial protection in case another person later comes forward and proves they are the rightful owner of the vehicle. Think of the bond as a guarantee that helps the state issue a title while protecting anyone who may have a legitimate ownership claim. When might you need a title bond? There are several situations where a title bond may be required. For example, you bought a vehicle and never received a title. The title was lost before ownership was transferred. The seller disappeared or cannot be located. The title was improperly assigned. You inherited a vehicle but don't have sufficient ownership documentation. You restored an abandoned or older vehicle and need to establish ownership. Requirements vary by state, so it's important to check with your local Department of Motor Vehicles or vehicle licensing agency. How does the process work? While every state has its own rules, the process usually follows a few basic steps. Step 1. Contact your state's motor vehicle agency. The first step is determining whether your state allows bonded titles and whether your vehicle qualifies. The agency will typically review your situation and provide instructions on what documentation is required. Step 2. Determine the bond amount. Most states require the bond amount to be based on the vehicle's value. The state may calculate this amount for you, or they may require an appraisal or valuation from an approved source. Step 3. Obtain the title bond. Once you know the required bond amount, you'll apply for a title bond through a surety agency like Integrity Surety. In many cases, the cost of the bond is only a small percentage of the total bond amount. Step 4. Submit your paperwork. After receiving the bond, you'll submit it along with your application and supporting documents to the state. If approved, the state will issue a bonded title. How long does a bonded title last? Many states require the bond to remain in effect for a specific period, often between 3 and 5 years. During that time, if no valid ownership claims arise, the bonded designation may eventually be removed and the vehicle can receive a standard title. Again, the exact requirements depend on your state's laws. What happens if someone claims ownership? This is where the surety bond provides protection. If another party can prove they are the rightful owner and suffers a financial loss because a bonded title was issued, they may be able to make a claim against the bond. If the claim is found to be valid, compensation may be available up to the bond amount. It's important to remember that a surety bond does not transfer ownership. It simply provides a mechanism for resolving ownership disputes while allowing the state to issue a title. How much does a title bond cost? One of the most common misconceptions is that the bond costs the full bond amount. It doesn't. The bond amount might be several $1,000s, but the actual premium paid is typically only a small percentage of that amount. The exact cost depends on factors such as the required bond amount, state requirements, the applicant's qualifications. If you're missing a vehicle title, a title bond may provide a path to legally establish ownership and get your vehicle titled and registered. The process can seem confusing at first, but obtaining a title bond is often straightforward once you understand your state's requirements. If you need help obtaining a title bond, Integrity Surety can guide you through the process and help you secure the bond required by your state. Contact us today to learn more.